Let me share with you 5 simple yet powerful strategies to help you create massive change in your world. Key number 1 is this: work hard. But it sounds simple, right? But let me just double click on it for a second. Work hard at what comes easy. Many years ago, there was a reality TV show called American Idol. In my country, it was called Australian Idol, but there was also the Canadian Idol, the Greek Idol, the Cambodian Idol, and in France, it was called the Nouvelle Star. This was a singing competition, and tens of thousands of people would line up outside to audition to see who got to be the #1 singer for that season. Now here's the deal about this show. Out of those tens of thousands of people, 50% of them, actually, you know what? It was probably closer to 98% of them couldn't actually sing. And they all walked away angry and frustrated with the world. You know why that happens? Because they're all working hard at what comes hard. No. Work hard at what comes easy. See, work becomes senseless, it becomes vain, it becomes futile when it isn't aligned with our core purpose or isn't aligned with our strengths. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about strengths. Your strength is a mixture between your abilities and your appetites. Let me explain it like this. When I was in high school, I was really good at accounting. So all my teachers said, oh, you should be an accountant because you're really good at it. Only problem was that even though I was good at accounting, I actually didn't really like it. I had the ability, but didn't have the appetite for it. But there are some things that you actually love to do, but you're no good at. For instance, you might really love to cook, but you're clearly no good at it. That means it would be far better for your cooking to remain a hobby rather than a career. See, your strengths are a mixture between your abilities and appetites. Let me give you another example of this. My second daughter is a decent swimmer, but here's the thing. She hates swimming. So it would be wrong for me as a parent to push her into something that she actually hates. But dance? She loves it. She could do 7 dance classes a week and not make one complaint. Because it's an ability that she has, but it's also an appetite she has. That's what your strengths are. See, hard work actually can become a prison sentence unless, of course, it's got meaning. But when it's got meaning, it makes you want to come alive. It makes you want to dance. Key number 2 is this: be disciplined. Kobe Bryant is clearly one of the greatest basketball players of all time. But do you know when he was 10 or 11 in a local league playing basketball, there was one season where he didn't score a single point. Not a free throw, not a lucky shot, nothing. He decided he was going to discipline himself. He was going to come back strong in the next season. Now he knew he wasn't going to catch these guys in a week or a month. It was going to take him years of a systematic approach to actually help him develop his skills in this area of basketball. He was going to start with working on the fundamentals. So for 6 months he did nothing but shoot. The next season, came back, scored a few points. Next season, got a little bit better, and by 14, he was the #1 player in the state. Even when he was playing in the NBA. During the off season, Kobe Bryant would shoot 1,300 3-pointers in a session just to stay disciplined. He tells young kids, he says, it's maths. If you obsessively train every single day for 2 or 3 hours, for 1 or 2 years, you're gonna make quantum leaps. You just gotta do the work and just show up. Albert Einstein, who is synonymous with the term genius, he said this, he said, I'm not really all that smart. What I do is I just stick at a problem for far longer than most people. He's disciplined. Key number 3 is this: get organized. You know what I'm convinced? Most of the stress that happens in our world is a result of disorganization. Most of the stress that we encounter is actually self-inflicted. We need to organize ourselves. We need to structure our lives for success. We need to get organized. We need to have to-do lists, we need to organize our diary, we need to actually come up with a plan for success. See, the reason why so many people go home and kick the dog, scream at the cat, urinate in the fishbowl, is because the exam is due tomorrow but they haven't studied. The project for work is expected next week, but you haven't even started. Set a plan and work the plan and get organized. See, I know this might sound a little bit contradictory, but it's not. We actually don't get to decide our future. What we actually get to decide is our habits, then our habits decide our future for us. So work the habits and effectively until you develop a plan to get you to where you actually want to be. Key number 4 is this: focus. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates were being interviewed. The interviewer said, if you had one key to help people today become successful, what will that one key be? You know what they said? They both said the exact same word, the exact same time. Ready? They both said this: focus. But you know what? We don't want to focus on anything, do we? You know what they call our generation? They call us the options generation. Why? Because we want to keep all our options open until the last minute. But can I be honest with you? If you want to be really, really successful in today's modern world, you actually have to be a really, really good quitter. You heard me right. You actually have to quit a lot of things and we'll focus on those few things. Those few things, you never quit. See, what I'm talking about is I'm talking about strategic quitting. Most people never quit strategically. What happens is they quit reactively. They quit because something's too hard. They quit because something's too difficult. They quit because the struggle is too great. No, quitting strategically is I'm quitting this in order to go to something better. We need to focus our attention on where we want to go. We are so distracted in today's modern world. Latest research out of London says that we check our phones on average 85 times a day, usually in short bursts of less than 30 seconds. We are so distracted by the highest quality content in human history. Many parents today don't actually know who their kids are actually hanging out with, but they do know who someone that they went to school with 20 years ago ate for breakfast. We need to get focused on who we are, why we're here, and where we're actually going. There's a form of torture that the French invented, where what they would do is they would take a man and they would tie his 4 limbs to 4 horses and they would pull him apart. They call this form of torture distraction. Has anyone ever felt torn apart, literally tortured by the amount of beeps and rings and notifications that we have coming at us 24/7 in today's modern world? We need to allow ourselves to think clearly and to focus. For many of us, our mental lives have become fractured and fragmented. There's no time for deep thinking. We just graze in this crisis of attention, this age of distraction that we're actually living in today. Here's a great acronym for focus. FOCUS. Follow one course until successful. And key number 5 is this: execution brings clarity. If you want to get really clear on what you need to be doing, execute, take action, implement a program, do something. In other words, get in the game. As imperfect as your game is, get in the game. Because only when you're in the game do you get the lay of the land and get to work out what your next move should be. Some of you are trying to make decisions and you're up in the stands. No, get in the game. There's a law called the law of diminishing intent, which says this: the longer that you wait to do something that you know you should be doing now, the greater the odds that you actually won't do it. So write that book, start that business, get involved in some sport, do something, take some action and create some clarity in your world. There's an old Chinese proverb and it says this: the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. Do something today, take action today. James Cameron, the director of a film called Avatar, one of the highest grossing films of all time. He was given some advice to some young film directors and he said this. He said, Pick up a camera, shoot something. No matter how small, no matter how cheesy, no matter whether your friends and your sister star in it. Put your name on it as director. Now you're director. Everything after that, you're just negotiating a budget and a fee. Take some action. Get clear on your visions and dreams. Get clear on your goals by taking action. All I came here to do today was give you enough light to just take the next step. 5 keys to help bring about massive change in your life. Work hard, be disciplined, get organized, stay focused, and execution brings clarity.